Hank Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, my daddy rose to the #3 spot in the Bureau of Prisons back in the early 1960s. He was head of, his responsibility was pardons, classifications, and paroles. He became a corrections officer, one of the first black corrections officers in the country back in 1950, when he was actually 1949, when he was recruited out of Morris Brown College in Atlanta to go to the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary and become one of the first blacks to be a corrections officer. He became the first parole officer out at Leavenworth, Kansas, where he was transferred to back around 1952, 53. And so BOP, Bureau of Prisons, kind of runs in my blood. He used to work at the Federal Home Loan Bank building is what it is now, but that used to be the Bureau of Prisons, just a stone's throw away from here. And I'm alarmed that we would be having this hearing today and we don't even have the current BOP director to testify. Republicans actually, if Republicans actually cared about oversight, they would have the director here or reschedule for a date that he was available. President Trump fired the former Bureau of Prisons director on Inauguration Day, and a third of the BOP's senior leadership quit. In its misguided efforts to chase efficiency, the Trump administration ended a long-running incentive pay plan, cutting officers and other employees' pay by 25%, which will only worsen the existing staff shortages. But it's not just human infrastructure that's in disrepair, it's also the physical infrastructure, which has been a problem for years. Mr. Pertil, you are aware that in May of 2023, the Office of the Inspector General published an audit of BOP's efforts to maintain and construct institutions, and that audit described hazardous and crumbling infrastructure, including infrastructure problems that have led to the closure of BOP facilities, correct?
Correct.
And you are also aware that BOP leadership has expressed concern about underfunding for maintenance and repair efforts and a resulting backlog of projects, right?
I know that they have a significant backlog in deferred maintenance.
And Mr. Milton, how does the failure to maintain BOP facilities affect the health and safety of BOP staff and inmates?
Thank you for the question. I may take some liberties and also express gratitude for your grandfather's,
my daddy.
I'm sorry, your father's legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, the facilities have put the health.
When you say granddaddy,
I'm sorry,
makes me feel good. That must mean I'm looking young up in here.
You look so young that it had to be your grandfather.
I tell you, look, I do want an answer to that question, but I'll contact you later. I want to proceed on.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Flustered now. Instead of putting money into our existing prisons to fix them, this week Trump ordered federal agencies to rebuild and open Alcatraz, which closed in 1963 and is now a tourist site. Alcatraz was shut down because it was too expensive to run, and all the supplies had to be bought by a boat to the facility. I mean, just total, the place doesn't need to be reopened, but it's a vanity project for the president. He would waste money there, Mr. Pertil, and he also wasted money that could have gone to enhance facilities at existing BOP facilities, but he poured money into a failed effort to make Guantanamo Bay a place where it could accept a bunch of, some being American citizens who were later deported to El Salvador. We don't need a BOP that manages facilities that are the same as what we have in El Salvador. And I'm out of time now, so I will yield back. But we have dysfunction in the BOP at this point.
The gentleman yields back. With that, I'll ask the gentleman from the great state